Welcome to Party Street. Today we are going to discuss about Mauryan Espionage system or spy system. There were some important officials functioned at various levels of the organizations. The king's agent or pulisani, who probably belonged to a subordinate rank similar to that of the Yuktas. They functioned in a similar way as modern public relations officers. Asoka mentions that they were appointed to 3 grades. Those closest to the king who may have contributed to decisions on policy must have belonged to the highest grade. Associated with the pulisani were the Pativedakas or special reporters, also mentioned in the edicts. They had direct access to the king at any moment, and it would seem that the king placed great reliance on their evaluation of public opinion. Both the pulisani and the Pativedakas must also have served as a link between the central administration and the provincial administration. The Pativedakas may be compared with the institution of spies mentioned in the Arthashastra. These are Chara and Gudha Purusha. According to Arthashastra, there were 2 types of spy, Sanstha and Sanchara. Ashokan organization does not appear to be as complex as that envisaged by Kautilya. In the work of the latter, the espionage system is of the utmost importance. Spies are sent all over the country disguised as ordinary citizens in every walk of life. Even ministers are watched by spies. Asoka, on the other hand, admits in the edicts that he employs both agents and reporters. These may have been traveling inspectors, those of a high grade, who were known to the population and the administration, who went from place to place examining the governmental organization and making reports to the king. The 6th class mentioned by Megasthenes is that of the officers who supervise and inquire into various affairs and present reports to the king or a superior officer such as the local magistrate. The extract quoted by Diodorus uses the term episkopoi for this class. Strabo speaks of the same group and stresses the fact of their inspecting the army and courtesans as well and making secret reports to the king. He uses the term ephoroi for them. Arian in his account uses the same term and speaks of them reporting to the king or to the magistrates in self-governing areas. Earlier writers argue that this was a class of spies. The literal meaning of the 2 terms is more that of an overseer or a superintendent rather than a spy. Romila Thapar pointed out that episkopoi is translated as the one who watches over, overseer, guardian. Ephoroi is translated as overseer, guardian, ruler. The fact that they were asked to make secret reports to the king does not imply that they belonged to the espionage service. The mention of these reports may be better interpreted as indicating that they had direct access to the king and that their important reports could reach him without having to go through the many channels of bureaucratic organization. Furthermore, it seems hardly feasible that spies could be distinguished as a class apart from the rest of the population. The purpose of having spies is lost if their numbers and activities are widely known. The sixth class was that of officials junior in rank to the councillors. They would thus be the same as the Odhakshas, the superintendents of various departments mentioned in the Arthashastra. It would not be unusual that in the course of their work, they would be expected to make reports either to the king or to the higher officials. The institution of spies, as described in the Arthashastra, is not similar to this sixth class. The use of spies in various disguises for gathering information is not only a known practice but is suggested as a normal part of statecraft. But spies are now here treated as a separate class. They are a group within the administrative system and are recruited from various strata of society, from orphaned children to Brahmana widows and Shudra women, including a variety of state employees. Spies are not described working as inspectors or overseers. Their purpose is to merge themselves within the group that they are sent to spy upon and identify themselves completely with members of the profession, which will give them the closest access to the matter which concerns them. Thus, it is suggested that spies should work in the guise of fraudulent disciples, recluses, householders, merchants, ascetics, students, mendicant women, and prostitutes like Pungshadi, Veshya, Rupojiva. Not only are the spies unknown to the general public, but they are unknown to each other as well. It is stated that the officer in the Institute of Espionage should not know the working spies, but should give written directions. The espionage system was used not only in the detection of crime and eliciting of public opinion in the home country, but spies were also sent to foreign countries, just as spies from foreign countries were known to be active in the home country. The frequency of inspections and the existence of spies must have carried with it the flavor of a totalitarian state. Since there was no elected representative body to assist the king in governing, he could have recourse only to such means of eliciting public opinion. When used with caution and in a responsible manner, they may have served their purpose well. For Asoka, these officers were of use as a vast propaganda machine in addition to their other functions. The policy of Dhamma, for instance, would be explained by them to the population and the reaction of the latter ascertained. This reaction may well have been the basis for some of the edicts. So this is the end of our today's discussion. Subscribe our channel, like our video and comment. Listen to our podcast episodes. Follow our official Facebook page, Twitter handle and Instagram. For any query, feel free to mail us. For details, see the description.